How's it going, everybody? We are coming up on a big week of game releases. A lot of exciting stuff dropping this week and a lot to go over. We've got a free PlayStation Plus Essential title as well. And this is really where I think for a lot of people, there's a lot of exciting games coming out. I mean, going back to Black Myth Wukong really kicked off this wave of big release after big release, but man, is it continuing in a big way this week. I am going to also cover a game that isn't officially out, but they're doing the early access gimmick, you know, the fake early access, pay more, and you can actually play it on the release date. You get the idea, but let's get right into it, and let's kick things off with quite possibly the biggest PlayStation first-party release of the year. I mean, it comes down to this in Concord. We have Astrobot. Incredibly excited for Astrobot, and I am so happy that Sony is dropping something that is compelling, but at the same time, a little bit different from what they typically do, but also something that I feel like people actually want. I don't think people actually wanted a brand new hero shooter with disgusting characters. I think people want a charming platformer, however, that tugs at nostalgic heartstrings. And Astrobot developing into this mascot for Sony, I think is great. Join Astro in a brand new supersized space adventure. The PlayStation 5 mothership has been wrecked, leaving Astro and the bot crew scattered all over the galaxies. Time to ride your trusty dual speeder across more than 50 planets full of fun, danger, and surprises on your journey. Make the most of Astro's new powers and reunite with many iconic heroes from the PlayStation universe. Why should you play Astrobot? Blast off on a supersized adventure from sandy beaches to lush jungles and piping hot volcanoes. Explore a myriad of memorable planets in search of Astro's lost crew. Power up your platforming with new powers, battle out a whole new roster of quirky baddies and huge bosses. Feel every hop, punch, and crack through your DualSense wireless controller. And the game really does emphasize utilizing everything about the DualSense wireless controller. And join the PlayStation Celebration. Reunite with over 150 iconic PlayStation heroes and celebrate 30 years of PlayStation history. A game that really does harken back to yesteryear. So whether you know, you're buying this game and it's for your younger sibling or your kid and you think it's going to be an accessible game for them, but for also an older crowd, it's going to be a game that tugs at those nostalgic heartstrings with all of those iconic characters represented. I feel like, based on what I'm seeing, they found a really happy medium of being accessible to a younger audience, but also being incredibly endearing to an older crowd that's been with PlayStation for a very long time. Astrobot is due out on September the 6th. Next up, we have Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Miles Edgeworth's dramatic turnabouts take center stage. Experience both Ace Attorney Investigations game in one gorgeous collection. Investigate crime scenes and solve tough, intriguing cases through logic and deduction. When Edgeworth's past and present collide, his future ultimately begins. You've got two titles. Both games have been given the full HD treatment, including all new designs for the chibi characters. Classic pixel art style is also available for a more retro vibe. Quality of life improvements include chapter select have been added, making it a breeze to replay your favorite parts. Autoplay and story mode have also been added. Autoplay will progress the dialogue for you, while story mode will solve even the toughest puzzles on your behalf. Perfect for those who just want to sit back and enjoy a good mystery. You can turn story mode on and off at any time as well. A gallery section packed with bonus materials that are sure to please is also included. View in-game illustrations and character animations, along with character design sketches and more. Listen to the background music of each game or bask in the beauty of some orchestral arrangements. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection is due out on September the 6th and being priced at $39.99. Next up, we do have the game that's employing the early access gimmick. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is officially out on September the 9th, but they are touting you get early access 4 days. If you buy the gold edition for $100, you'll get to play it on September the 5th. Look, you guys already know how I feel about that release structure. A lot of games are doing it these days, but I still gotta call out garbage when I see it. I absolutely hate it. I'm sure it's more of a Focus Entertainment decision, but it is what it is. Buying the gold edition will also get you the season pass, so, you know, there is that. However, let's talk about the game because it looks absolutely awesome. We've been covering this game more and more on this channel, and it already has rolled out its roadmap for content updates going into 2025. It's going to be a game that's going to be supported for the long term, and the game has you embody the superhuman skill and brutality of a space marine. Unleash deadly abilities and devastating weaponry to obliterate the relentless Tyranid swarms. Defend the Imperium in spectacular third-person action in solo or multiplayer modes. And you've got emphasis on the solo campaign, or you can play it cooperatively as well. And while that's not going to be the lengthiest experience in the world, you are going to get a solid 10 to 15 hours with over-the-top action gameplay. And then after that, you've got the cooperative play in PvE as well in the operations component, and that'll add some replayability where you can fight alongside your friends. And then also, you'll be able to go into Eternal War with PvP content, 6v6 gameplay, and that'll be something to check out as well. And you'll be able to take on the role of 6 classes, each with their own distinct playstyle. And to reiterate, the campaign is fully playable cooperatively as well. This is a game that is really touting its multiplayer capabilities, so if you do have a couple of friends to play with, great. If you want to play it solo, that option is available to you as well. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, while the official release is September the 9th, the Gold Edition will give you a 4-day early unlock. Next up, we have Paper Ghost Stories Third Eye Open. Third Eye Open is a supernatural narrative adventure about a young girl coming of age. The game is set in a small Malaysian suburb, which players navigate to speak to friends, families, and ghosts. Various minigames immerse the player deeper into the protagonist's journey as well. Paper Ghost Stories Third Eye Open is due out on September the 5th. Next up, a brand new action Souls-like title, Perennial Order. This game has some incredible presentation. Perennial Order is a 2D plant horror boss rush with challenging one-hit death combat set in an atmospheric Dark Age world plagued by nature-infested horrors. Explore a lore-filled and eldritch land. You can play it alone or in 2-player co-op, all in a realistic painterly style. I gotta say, from a visual and presentation atmosphere, the game looks incredible. A very, very dark in tone. Might not be for everyone in stylization, but I think it looks great. And the presentation is so much different than a lot of other games dropping that it's going to set itself apart as far as that's concerned. Themes and visuals akin to the world designs of titles like Dark Souls and Princess Mononoke, painstakingly crafted by one artist and one animator. We are developing the visual identity of Perennial Order through realistic painterly techniques combined with 2D spine animation. Immerse yourself in a dreary land where unspeakable horrors roam, discover unusual NPCs, and explore a rich atmosphere through sounds and score with musical themes distinct to each boss. Perennial Order is due out on September the 6th. Next up, another game that from a visual standpoint, while the polar opposite of Perennial Order has such a distinct style, we have Parcel Corps. Ditch the 9-to-5 and embrace the high-octane life of a freelance bicycle messenger. Forget the job security, stable salary, and basic workplace rights less cool jobs offer while you ride along walls, grind rails, and startle pigeons on your way to corporation toppling domination. Parcel Corps is due out in September. Next up, for you horror game fans out there, Pneumata should be on your radar. Prepare to question what is reality and what is insanity in one of the scariest psychological horrors in years. The tenants are going missing, screams echo, and blood seeps through the walls of Clover Hill as well. Cosmic horror that makes you question what's real and what's not. The line between reality and alternate worlds begin to blur. True survival horror, scavenge for weapons and supplies in limited quantities, and run and hide to survive by any means necessary. Examine crime scenes and piece together clues and evidence in order to solve a series of gruesome murders. Explore a realistic and gritty apartment building and discover hidden areas and pathways in your search for truth. Diverse AI, fight or hide against entities that are unpredictable, and use your environment to create distractions. Pneumata is due out on September the 3rd. Next up, we do have the PlayStation Plus Essential freebie and Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Obviously, if you do want to buy the game standalone, it will be available for you for $29.99 for the base game, $39.99 for the deluxe edition. And surprisingly, more than anything to me, is the fact that this is a multiplayer-centric Warner Brothers published game. It will have a single-player career mode, but it will have no microtransactions, which I am honestly shocked by. Obviously incredibly happy about that. I mean, that's something that should be a regular thing in gaming. The less microtransaction focused games, the better. Obviously, in some games it works, but man, I feel like WB was gonna go crazy with that, but they aren't. Your next chapter takes flight. Immerse yourself in the enchanting world of Quidditch by playing solo or sharing the magic with friends and family. Take to the sky is one of the classic positions: Chaser, Seeker, Keeper, or Beater, each with their own unique playstyle. Soar into legendary Quidditch arenas as well as maps and showcase never-before-seen areas of the wizarding world. You've got the career mode, from backyard battles in Weasley Burrow to high-stakes showdown at the Quidditch World Cup. Rise to become a champion, either solo or in online co-op with teams of up to 3 friends. You've got exhibition matches, set your team's map and difficulty, and play alone or on teams of up to 3 in online co-op. And player versus player, test your skills in competitive online matches against other Quidditch teams. Your Quidditch your way as well. Customize your approach, level up, and use skill points to tailor your playstyle for each role. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions is due out on September the 3rd. Next up, we have SUNSOFT is back, the retro game selection. SUNSOFT is back and it's bringing some of its 8-bit classics to the West for the very first time in SUNSOFT is back retro game selection. Experience 3 of the legendary Japanese publishers Falcom games and play them in English for the first time ever. The 3 games included are The Wings of Medulla, Firework Thrower Kantaro's 53 Stations of the Tokiado, and Ripple Island, all included in this collection, dropping on September the 6th. Lastly, coming from Supermassive Games, going a little bit under the radar, but we have the casting of Frank Stone. The shadow of Frank Stone looms over Cedar Hills, a town forever altered by his violent past, as a group of young friends are about to discover Stone's blood-soaked legacy cuts deep, leaving scars across families, generations, and the very fabric of reality itself. This is going to be a choice-driven horror game, much like Supermassive has done in the past. The storytelling prowess of Supermassive Games meets the Dead by Daylight universe in a haunting horror game that won't soon be forgotten. The shadow of Frank Stone looms over Cedar Hills, a town forever altered by his violent past, and a mystery of cosmic proportions in the depths of an Oregon steel mill. The gruesome crimes of a sadistic killer spawns horrors beyond comprehension. Delve into the mystery of Cedar Hills alongside an original cast of characters bound together on a twisted journey where nothing is as quite as it seems. The casting of Frank Stone is due out on September the 3rd. And that is going to do it for me. Again, quite a few games dropping this week and a lot of options with a lot of variety as well. And things are just going to continue heating up as far as big game releases for really the rest of the year, or at least for the majority of the year. Things are going to quiet down at the second half of December, but a lot of exciting titles ahead. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.